Minimalism is a scarce commodity in sports car terms these days. The last true exponent of the lightweight sports car was Colin Chapman and his Lotus cars. Fast, wieldy, lightweight machines that were a lot of fun to drive. Modern sports cars have traded simplicity for complexity and need a lot of muscle to come up with decent power to weight ratios. But there are some exceptions. Meet the Alfa Romeo 4C, a lightweight, slim, trim and very sexy car. This is an Alfa like no other, a compact, low-slung two-seater with a stance, the attitude and the arresting aesthetics of a supercar. Relative to its height, the 4C is wide and low with a prowling, predatory attitude that expresses an appetite for speed and excitement. It's certainly not pretty in the conventional sense, but then there is nothing conventional about the 4C. Its sole purpose is to be driven with real intent and to reward the pilot with a memorable motoring experience. They say that all good design is underpinned by a measure of form following function, and that's certainly the case here. The minimalism that is such a core part of the philosophy behind the 4C is also expressed in its design. It's a compact, taut and very wieldy car with a shape that is tautly stretched across the frame. In fact, it's a car that looks really, really quick even when it's standing still. And trust me, it is quick. The front view's elements vector around the Alfa synonymous triangle, which is embraced here by big air-gulping intakes on either side. The individual light elements are arranged like a scattering of jewels. The tiny ones act as daytime running lights combined with the larger xenons for main illumination. Flared wheel arches embrace the wide-spoked alloy wheels. The flanks are trim and almost delicate, offset by wide haunches with generously proportioned cooling apertures. At the rear, the round recessed taillight clusters are a classic sports car touch, while the rear diffuser and the large-bore exhaust tailpipes are further confirmation of this Alfa's dynamic intentions. The whole focus of the interior is on creating a direct line of communication between the car and the driver. It's not the easiest car to get into because of this low roofline and the very wide sill, but once you're in the bucket seat, everything falls into place. And there's a sense of race car simplicity here. The grippy steering wheel, a single instrument that gives you all the data you need, these shift paddles, and of course, a seating position that gives you a perfect overview of what's up ahead. Real carbon fibre and aluminium surfaces contribute to the cockpit's naked appeal. Not that the 4C does without vital creature comforts. Electric windows and mirrors, air conditioning, remote central locking and cruise control are provided, and those leather-trimmed bucket seats offer decent support too. What's not immediately apparent is just how advanced the 4C's construction really is. The chassis is a pure carbon fibre monocoque combined with aluminium for the front and rear beams and the integrated roll cage, while the body panels are fashioned from sheet-molded composites. The result is a very light, very strong body shell. By hardcore sports car standards, the 4C's engine is quite a humble unit. It's a 1.75-litre four-cylinder engine featuring direct injection, turbocharging and variable valve timing, and produces 177 kilowatt of maximum power linked to 350 newton meters of torque. Drive, of course, to the rear wheels via a 6-speed TCT dual-clutch gearbox. The TCT is fast and percussive, with a hard-edged mechanical action that suits the Alfa's uncompromising personality. It retains an auto mode, but to drive the 4C without changing the gears yourself robs the experience of involvement. Swapping cogs and savouring the throttle blip on downshifts is a vital part of piloting this car. There's absolutely nothing subtle about this 4C. It crackles and spits and pops like a race car. And in fact, it's not about driving, it's actually about experiencing every meter of the road. It's pretty quick to the 0-100 time, 4.5 seconds, top speed 258 kilometers an hour. But it's really the wieldiness of the car, the way it reacts to steering input, the way that you actually become part of the car that makes it such a fantastic vehicle to drive. Like other sporty Alphas, there is a drive selector that allows access to various modes at the push of a button. Switch to dynamic mode and the throttle response becomes sharper, the engine's mapping is more aggressive, and the gear shifts are quicker, while the stability and traction control allow more leeway before intervening. There's also a race mode, which switches all the driver assistance modes off, leaving the line of communication between car and driver completely uncompromised. The running gear is all aluminium with wishbones up front and a strut-based arrangement at the rear. The ride is taut without becoming too uncompromising, but the stiff carbon fiber tub means that the 4C's reactions to driver input are direct and unflinching. Would you spend 870,000 Rand on a small two-seater four-cylinder sports car with an Alfa Romeo badge? Well, I know I would. After all, where would you find a sports car for that money that has a carbon fiber tub, is built by craftsmen, and has a power-to-weight ratio approaching 190 kilowatt per ton? The Alfa Romeo 4C is a purist, thoroughbred sports car. It's also one of the most engaging cars I've ever driven, and I certainly want one. At the core of the 4C's dynamic talents is a curb mass of just more than 900 kilos and a power-to-weight ratio of 188 kilowatt per ton. The result, lightning-fast acceleration and brilliant handling. Add the carbon fiber tech and the gorgeous styling, and the 4C is Alfa's most desirable car yet, even if it isn't the most practical.